All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Michael goes hard in. 59. You don't want pick up the ball. 26.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Mike, 58, right there. Bag it. 26.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Yo. Hatchet. 6'6", pull it high. Hey, echo. Bang.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Check. Recon, 132 fighter. 54, right there. 54 Mike. Watch the slap. Big grip.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Watch the screen. Watch the eye. Watch twist. Pilot, 64, weak. Hey. Hey, Alpha. Tight dog. Shoot.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Second and 9 at the 35-yard line.
There we go. Nice play, baby.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Squeeze, double.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That one caught by Gibson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
You got nothing. 35's the mic.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Go. Mike 35. Oh, here we go.
From the gun, Stern. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Pulled in at the 24. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Watch twist. Kill. Check, 59. Go out. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 56.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he'll burrow his way forward to pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
First down, Cowboys.
Here we go.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Check 52. There we go. Kill. 26. Then we're going to 53. Here we go. Going to 54. Going to 54. Line 26.
On second down now, it's Elliott. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Prescott from the gun, looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. 30, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
All right, kill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott, he's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Slam.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got one.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
30. 47. What's that? 26.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll have his man, that's Cooper. And he's got this down to the 35. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
We have begun to turn you up.
Hey, two.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
You can do one of two things after a penalty. You can hang your head, or you can get mad and redouble your efforts. I think we just saw the latter there as they stopped him for no gain.
The line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Stepping, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott keeping it himself from 5 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get in the field goal range. Let's see what happens.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
At the 39-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Okay, 2. Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
I'm coming for you. You must.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Ready up.
57, Mike 57. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Don't be scared of it.
57 to Mike, 57 to Mike. Hey, I can't reach. Hey, go.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Borden. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Down. 15 line. 15 line.
I got it.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, one set.
Now.
On first down, Stern. This is brought in by Gibson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. 57. Mike.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, huh? Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
Watch the pass.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check. Crunch. Hey, watch edge.
X3, 218, chopper.
Shoot.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now! Get him, you got it! Hey, high 7!
57's Mike 57.
He's tired of me!
Let's go!
To throw on 2nd down. Stern. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Yep. 57's Mike.
Let's go, defenses. Get out the field.
Now Johnson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 48.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
General West. Hey, exit.
Check right 57.
Hit it.
Operating from the gun. Stern. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Set up. 70, Indy.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell
Smooth.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Ready.
Throwing on first down. Stern. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Ready. 18 Gator.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
5.
Mike, 57.
Hey, go.
On first down, Johnson. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
back and go full strength. Shift.
Greystone, travel. Hey, Haywood.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
They don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, that's good. Check going to throw. Check.
We're going to 54. 26.
Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for the Cowboys. 42 yards.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. He'll try the right side with Elliott. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Give them maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
Hey, Phil. 47.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stay home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. And this one is right through. And that will knot us up at 10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Ready, set.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They start to drive with White, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
57's right. I'm coming.
Here's 2nd and 8. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Mike 57.
It's going to be a long...
Looking to throw. Stern. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Philip Dorsett, 46 yards. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throwing on 2nd down. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now Prescott letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Hey, zoom.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
35's the Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Mike 35, Mike 35. Come on. We better.
Hey, Delta.
35's the Mike.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job,
play.
buddy. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's taken on the 25. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
Let's go.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and now it's third down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you could go on the field, but okay, I see you.
Check 43. Hey, kill.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10.
Ready.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Ready.
57. Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert. Kill.
Ready.
They'll run on first down. Johnson. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.